In this presentation, I will discuss hermeneutics. This is the contents. We will first address the question, what is biblical hermeneutics? You may wonder, why do I need to learn hermeneutics? Why is it so important? In this session, I will discuss the hermeneutics principles, the tips and pitfalls. Do you have thought about the question, what is hermeneutics? Well, take a moment and think about this question. Biblical hermeneutics is about how to interpret the Bible. The goal is to discover the original meaning intended by the author. The authors did not write to us, because we live in their future, but they wrote to persons living in the same time of period as the writer. The message is very old, and we want to translate the message to today's context. Translating from the ancient world into our world, the ultimate goal is to understand God's intent, so that we can apply it in our life. There is another word for Bible interpretation, exegesis. There is a small difference. Exegesis is used for Bible interpretation of a passage of the Bible, while hermeneutics is about interpretation of the Bible as a whole. Why is hermeneutics so important? The answer is that you need to properly interpret the Bible first. The result of the hermeneutics process is the biblical principles. With the biblical principles, we can then develop theology. What are the biblical principles? Biblical principles are fundamental and timeless truths. Some of them we can apply them in our daily life. Examples of biblical principles are: love God above all, love your neighbor as yourself, trust in God in all circumstances. Please take a few seconds and read the remaining examples. Which biblical principles are your favorite ones? Do you recall other biblical principles? Why is hermeneutics important? If you do not properly interpret the Bible correct, you will end up with a weird theology. So you need first to study the Bible and interpret it correctly, in order to develop the right theology. If you do not have a correct interpretation, you won't get a correct doctrine. Take a moment and read the different doctrines. If you know the doctrines, please put it to the comment. Other viewers can learn from your comments. What do we need for hermeneutics? You need wisdom, skill, and practice are important. In the next slides, I will cover the hermeneutical principles. So we start with hermeneutical principles, or principles for interpretation. In 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 20, we find a statement about interpretations from the Bible. The scripture clearly prohibit private interpretation. Of course, we interpret the Bible text. I think it says you must not creating your own interpretation. This is called reader response theory. But find the meaning from the text, not from your opinion. On this way, we avoid arbitrary interpretation. One of the important hermeneutic principles is to harmonize the different texts. Some texts may look contradiction, and we need to seek consistency. The goal is to find a coherent message from the Bible. One of the hermeneutical principles is to be aware of the so-called progressive revelation. The message is not revealed at once, but gradually God revealed the message through time. In the New Testament, Jesus explained the Old Testament texts. And in the book The Acts of the Apostles, the life and work of Jesus were explained. A basic principle is to use literal interpretation first. If literal interpretation sucks, then try other types of interpretation can be used, such as symbolics, spiritual of allegorical interpretation. There are a lot of interpretation types. If you know some of them, put them in the comments. Knowing the background and context is crucial to be able to understand the text. Especially the Bible, written more than nearly 2,000 years ago, with its own cultural and historical background. Do not pick out a verse and try to understand it. You really need to read the immediate context, the text before and after, the textual context. It is important to find out the writer and the original audience. The cultural context may help you to understand the situation. For example, the Jewish and Roman culture at the time of Jesus. You may wonder why there were money changer in the Temple of Jerusalem. The Jewish people used their own religious coin for temple offering. It was forbidden to use Roman coin as the temple offering, as Roman coin had an image of the Roman emperor. Therefore, coin changers were needed. Or a proselyte from foreign country did not have the Jewish religious coin. The political context will help us to understand why Jesus was brought to trial to the Sanhedrin. Later on to Pilatus and Herodes. The Roman law forbade killing a person without trial. Therefore, Jesus must be brought before the Jewish Supreme Court, the Sanhedrin. Since Jesus was arrested in Jerusalem, he must be brought to the Roman governor of Judea Herodes Antipas. He was turned over to Roman governor of Galilee Pontius Pilate, as Jesus came from Galilee. Recognizing literary genres is needed, because every genre has its own rule of interpretation. A parable may not historical. The book Revelation is very misty and vague. You may try to demystify the book. Well, probably it was the intention of the writer to keep it vague. It was not meant to be crystal clear. Think about that. We live 2,000 years in the future for the writers of the Bible. Be aware of the time, culture, and political gap. Most people read the Bible as it was written to people in our modern world. We might not aware that it was written long time ago. To understand the Bible, we need to go back into history and try to bridge the gap. There are a few gaps. Language and culture are different than ours. Words may have a different meaning in their world than our world. Here is the summary of what we have discussed. We have discussed the hermeneutical principles. Which ones speak to you most? Is it no private interpretation or no ready response theory? Harmonization, progressive revelation through time, literal interpretation, contextual interpretation, respect genres, or bridging the gaps? I have provided a few exercises for you. You may use internet search or AI. Be aware that you need to check the answers from internet or from AI. They can make mistakes. Please add your findings to the comment. Other viewers may benefit from your research work. Congratulations to you. You are now a hermeneutist, as you are interpreting the Bible. To assist you, I have provided some tips and pitfalls. If you listen to a sermon or a sharing, just ask yourself the question, am I hearing the voice of God or the voice of men? Do not inject a personal idea or political agenda into the Bible. Injecting your opinion into the Bible is called eisegesis. The correct behavior is to let the scripture speak freely. When reading the Bible, do not interpret the Bible in its isolation or atomic interpretation. This will leads to tunnel vision and narrowed the message. If you hit difficult text, to overcome this situation is to use clear text from other part of the Bible. Do avoid creating a maze of interpretation and twisted thoughts. Rather make the explanation clear and understandable. Do not speculate with the Bible text, especially when explaining the future like the book of Revelation. Faith means entrusting God in everything, including my and your future. While we are interpreting the Bible, we are often unaware that we project our worldly view onto the ancient world. When we project the future onto the ancient world, it is anachronism. Anachronism means that element did not exist in the history, but it exists in the future. We are now at the end of our tips and pitfalls. Which one do you like most? No eisegesis, voice of men, or voice of God. No isolated interpretation, tota scriptura. Interpret obscure text with clear ones. Do not create a maze of interpretations. Do not speculate with the Bible text. Avoid anachronism.